What's up, everybody? My name is Vincent. Welcome to Cryptolution, where we talk about everything under the moon in the crypto universe. Today's Monday, November 3rd. Now, today's dog video is an emergency video because I want to share with you how to survive during these market manipulation events and becoming the 1% that outthink the 99%. The 99% typically tend to focus on their emotions. They react on price volatility. And I want to share with you some skills and some traits on learning how to survive during these market manipulations. But I want to expose the market manipulation and what's behind it all. And we have to look at how meme coins, altcoins are performing right now because they're all reflective to the downside. But there is upside in the end of this video because you're going to learn how to survive, but you're also going to learn the upsides for dog and Bitcoin meme coins because they've never had their bull run ever. So let's get right into it. Let's not waste any time. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to join us on X. Please be careful with any of the scammers down in the comments below. I will never reach out via WhatsApp, Telegram, direct messaging, or email, so please be careful and invest safely. Guys and girls, let's get right into it. Okay, so dog is down 11%. It's not just dog. We'll get into that in just a little bit. It's at around 140 million market cap. Now let's look at Bitcoin's price over the past 7 days. It's down 7%. And as I've mentioned over and over, whatever happens to Bitcoin, it's really going to affect every other altcoin and meme coin. In fact, we saw a total of $102 billion liquidated in long positions just yesterday. This is long and short positions. This is a huge liquidation event, and it's definitely orchestrated. But also we saw major tokens such as Dogecoin and Cardano leading a major sell-off while Bitcoin struggles. So this was not by far just the worst October, but we're also having the worst November. Now, just within the past 12 hours, we've almost gotten close to being around $1 billion in liquidations. But over the past 24 hours, yes, we've seen those liquidations happen. Now, look at November in terms of its Bitcoin monthly returns. We're in a negative 3%. And funny enough, last month we were in a negative 3% as well. Keep in mind, both October and November are the best performing months in the entire legacy of Bitcoin's price. Yet, for the first time that we've seen since basically 2018, where October and November are in the red. So is this manipulation? I absolutely think so. And it's basically due to this. So if you don't know, if you pay attention to specific wallets such as Binance, BlackRock, Wintermute, they all had major sell-offs, meaning they either sold to their market makers, or if they were a hedge fund, they sold hundreds of Bitcoin at the same time. So this was a coordinated event. It isn't just some random spur of the moment. It literally, there are some insiders that are working behind the scenes. It could be Wall Street mixed with major exchanges. Either way, a ton of these people are purposely liquidating the entire market to scare the 99% of retail. Now let's look at meme coins. As you can see, a lot of the meme coins that you know are down massively. So let's take a look. Pepe's down 10%. We have Bonk down almost 11%. SPX 6900, which I'll talk about in a little bit, down 12%. We also have Dog With Hat down 12%, Toshi down 13%. We go further down, Brett Token down 11%. I go further down to where Dog Bitcoin is down 11% as well. So every meme coin is being hit very hard. Now, speaking of SPX 6900, if you want to talk about losses, look at Murad's portfolio. So this is his meme coin investment portfolio that's available on Arkham Intelligence. He used to have around $67 million in his record high, is now down to $26 million. It actually went above 50 million when we were at a new peak when the meme coin market was back up, but now it's fallen down again to 26 million. Now, I want to focus on the entire meme coin market cap because we're down to around 55 billion in total. Now, a majority of that market share is actually dog-themed meme coins. This is Dogecoin, Shiba Inu, Floki, Bonk, Dog With Hat, and even Dog Bitcoin. And so obviously with the amount of market share, that will have actually the better return upside than most of these other meme coins. Even Murad's, by the way, is only $1.1 billion. So really, dog-themed meme coins outperform even Murad's picks and every other themed meme coin. Now let's look at this chart down below. As I mentioned before, we're at $55 billion in total for meme coin market caps. Remember back in December, we were at over $100 billion, but then the Trump token had then been released and we saw a huge capitulation event within meme coins, but we thought we were seeing meme coins gaining traction going back upwards, but we pulled back. And again, this is market manipulation. This should not be happening. This is all because of BlackRock and Wintermute and big insiders trying to shake up the 99%. But since you're the 1% watching this video, let's understand something. We do know that dog-themed meme coins, as I mentioned, are the best market shares out there amongst all meme coins. And a big fact is Dogecoin, Shiba Inu, Floki, with Bonk, they've all actually historically reached $1 billion in market cap. And guess what? What is next in line? It's Dog. Dog is the #1 meme coin on Bitcoin. And it will be the next one to reach $1 billion. And I'm talking about $1 billion and higher. We don't know when that will be, but it will definitely be above $1 billion and higher. Because if you think about it, all these testnet meme coins were above $1 billion, even up to $2 and above $1 billion market caps. But in all honesty, these are oversaturated in terms of Ethereum and Solana networks. We've never seen the Bitcoin network ever experience a parabola event, aka Bitcoin meme coins. And Dog being #1, people are going to flock to that coin first, as people flocked to Dogecoin when it first came out. Now, what's some proof in the data around that? So if you look at the Bitcoin meme coin market share, it's only 0.01% of Bitcoin's market cap. If you think about Shiba Inu is the first #1 meme coin on Ethereum, and it makes up roughly around 1.27%. So imagine that Dog reaches around 0.5%, that's roughly around $10 billion. If it's actually 1%, that's roughly around $20 billion in market cap just for Dog Bitcoin. So just think about that. Even Bonk over here, this is one of the top Dog meme coins on Solana. It's also 1%. So you just got to think about it. This is just mathematics, right? Eventually it's going to happen, but we've already seen Ethereum and Solana meme coins have their bull run. So Bitcoin meme coins will absolutely be next and have more upside than any of these other testnets. Even with CB Spears, who shared recently the on-chain data regarding fungible tokens on Bitcoin compared to Bitcoin transactions. Now in 2024, when Runes came out, we saw that basically in April 2024, Runes dominated, which is this blue section, in transaction volume within the year of 2024. And in 2025, as you know, after the Trump token had been released, we didn't see that many transactions within Rune tokens or even meme coins for that matter. But with the hype of BRC 2.0, we started seeing some domination of BRC20 tokens dominating Bitcoin market share, or at least Bitcoin transactions, I'm sorry. But look at Runes. Runes are actually slowly returning back. And I think in 2026, you're going to start to see something like this again. That's just my point of view. But just to show you some more data, Or.io shared from the block that right now Runes are reporting around 50% of the transactions on the Bitcoin network. And if we zoom out even further, all right, so if we go back to April 2024 up until now, we did see a huge increase of Rune transactions because of the Rune hype. And then it faded once we saw that the Trump token came out, liquidated the whole meme coin market. But slowly within this year, have you noticed that the Rune transactions are slowly actually building, consuming more and more of the network? This is a heads up of what is expected to come, especially in 2026, because Bitcoin meme coins, as I mentioned, if you're the 1% paying attention to this video, you're positioning right now to allocate more Dog or more Bitcoin meme coins, as it will be the narrative of next year. But before we see that happen, we need to see, and I've said this over and over, we need to see Bitcoin dominance reach up to 64% again, because right now it's around 60%, which is actually good news. So in my eyes, I always think of the broad scheme of things, the macro aspect. Bitcoin needs to reach around 64%, which means that Bitcoin's price is going to dominate and altcoins are going to lag behind. But it does not mean that altcoins will actually not see 2 to 3x returns. In fact, when Bitcoin reaches new all-time highs, it will actually start to see altcoins rally, but not have 100,000x or a millionx, right? I'm talking about percentage wise. It will have maybe 100% X to the upside, or maybe even 200% increases, 70% increases. You'll see that happen as Bitcoin goes up. And I still would rather have my Satoshis from Bitcoin working for Dog than in Bitcoin itself, because there's a lot more return on investment, even though we're seeing an altcoin bleeding happening. That's just the manipulation to shake you out. So here's something that I want to share with you, okay? We have to look at the Dog fear and FOMO history. And this is the history of Dog itself. Now, back then in May of 2024, it was the very first capitulation event of Dog. And it hit around 180 million market cap. Then shortly after, just a couple months later, we saw Dog reach a new all-time high. At that time, it was a local top, around 980 million market cap. 180 to 980 is a huge jump. Then we saw another capitulation event back in September of 2024. Dog reached a new low again of around 190 million market cap. Then just a couple months later, we saw FOMO happening again from 190 then to a new all-time high, which is the all-time high record for now at around 999 million market cap. Then recently this year, we saw another fear drop of around a new all-time low of around 98 million market cap. That was in April 2025. And just a month later, we saw that dog Bitcoin went up to 560 million market cap. And then recently, on October 10th, which we saw the largest liquidation event in history, in crypto's history, we saw dog drop to around 100 million market cap for like a brief second. And so I'm asking you, for the next FOMO event that we're going to see, when is it going to happen? And what do you think the next market cap is going to be? Is it going to be the hundreds of millions, or is it going to be the multi-billions? Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. So the reason I share this video with you is because we want to address clearly that the market is being capitulated and that there is market manipulation. It's clear as day. But I really want to share this with you because you must be feeling so emotional right now looking at the price of anything. If it's dog, if it's Bitcoin, whatever it is, you must be shaken up. But I'm just trying to share with you how the mentality of the 1% think. The way we think is not due to dips. Dips for us are buying opportunities. And even if it continues to dip, we'll still buying. This is what Michael Saylor from MicroStrategy does with Bitcoin. And this is what Tom Lee from Fundstrats and also Bitmine is doing with Ethereum. They're buying the dip by hundreds of millions of dollars because they know that the market eventually is going to go back up. And there is no random black swan event. There is no bearish news that's happening right now to send the price of anything in the crypto market going down while the stock market and gold is going up. So you know clearly what's going on with the market manipulation. So really, this is the opportunity to be buying your favorite assets. And me, I'm buying dog. So become part of the 1% and you will win. And this is why the 1% are the 1%. Why the 99% fear, they spread hate in the comments. They also blame other people for what they do and they blame people for their investments. You have to be that 1% that takes accountability and also takes actions and pride themselves when the market goes back up. And you got to think like that. So I just want to share that with you because, again, there's a lot of fear in the market right now. And I just want to remind you as the dog army what to do next. So you already know I'm very bullish around dog Bitcoin. So please, if you want to support the channel, you want to get more up-to-date news and support dog, you need to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to join us on X to receive all of our alpha calls and updates regarding dog and moon. Till then, see you guys girls next time.